As this legislative session nears an end, there is one crucial piece of legislation that has been neglected by the Senate all year long. The Violence Against Women Reauthorization Act passed the House in March, but has since been stalled in the Senate. The act, originally championed in 1994 by then-Senator Joe Biden, funds state and local governments providing programs that address domestic violence and sexual assault, as well as closing the boyfriend loophole to prevent abusive partners from purchasing or owning guns. But the legislation expired in 2019, forcing Congress to reappropriate funds for programs in the interim and preventing new protections from being implemented, such as an expanded rape prevention program. This could not come at a worse time. Reports of domestic abuse jumped by double digits in cities across the U.S. since the pandemic. One study published last month found the leading cause of maternal death today is homicide, in large part due to violence from intimate partners. The study found pregnant Black women face the highest risk of homicide out of all groups. The Human Rights Campaign also declared 2021 the deadliest year on record for trans and non-binary Americans. Out of the 46 people killed, the majority were Black transgender women. The HRC also noted the most basic protections for transgender Americans included in the Violence Against Women Act. That is, if the Senate reauthorizes it. Joining me now to discuss, Minnesota State Representative Ruth Richardson. Representative Richardson, why is this being held up in the Senate?
You know, one of the challenges that we see in terms of legislation that is focused on protecting women and girls is oftentimes I don't think people really understand the significant disparities that we are seeing in Minnesota. As we look at the disparities related to Black women and girls are 2.7 times more likely to die of homicide. And when I'm out and I'm talking to people, they often don't know that statistic. And they often don't know that Black women and girls, when they are victims of homicide or when they go missing, that their cases stay open 4 times longer. So I think a big part of this is the education for people really understanding what we're dealing with.
Between 64,000 and 75,000 Black women and girls are currently missing in the U.S. What protections are necessary for Black women and girls? And is any of that part of the Violence Against Women's Act?
You know, looking at the numbers, I think it's really important that span you just gave, somewhere between 64,000 and 75,000, that's a huge span. The first thing that we really need to understand is what is the scope of the issue that we're actually dealing with? And the fact that we don't know, that's an important first step to prevention. We need to understand exactly what we are dealing with as a nation. States need to understand this as well. And as we look at the data, we're going in the wrong direction. And in 2020, there were at least 4 Black women and girls who were murdered per day in the United States. And so, again, bringing a light and shining a light on this issue is going to be significantly important. But part of it is also going to be looking at addressing the structural issues and systems that we have today that perpetuate these disparities.
Why do you think that incredible disparity is not more of a headline issue in news, even in Black media?
You know, I think the most important thing is that for Black women and girls and survivors, for family members, they have been talking about these statistics. They've been talking about their pain. They've been talking about their trauma, and they haven't been heard. They haven't been seen. And I think it's really important. And right now, there's a space that I think has developed here right now where we're in this time where people are starting to pay attention, but there's still so much work to be done. When we look at missing children's cases, for example, Black children make up about 35% of the missing person cases across the entire United States, which is a disproportionate number, but they're less than 10% of the media references. So we definitely know that the media has work to do when it comes to shining a light on these disparities. But we also know that when we look at law enforcement, for example, Black girls, Black children in general, are less likely to get Amber Alerts when they go missing. They're less likely to be seen as victims of foul play. And so when they don't get that initial Amber Alert, what that means is they don't get the police resources invested in that first critical 48 hours that are critical to an investigation. And it also means that the news media isn't paying attention to it because the news media will feature, abducted children, but they're not regularly featuring kids that have been classified as runaways.
Representative Richardson, thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate your time.